Hey everyone, and welcome. Today we're going to talk about something that sounds, well, a little intimidating: financial ratio analysis. But trust me, it's really all about finding the story that's hidden deep inside of the numbers.
All right, so to really get this, we first have to tackle a fundamental problem. We see financial numbers thrown around all the time, right? But what do they actually mean when they're just floating there by themselves?
I mean, think about it like this. Someone tells you a company made $1 million in profit. So, is that good? Is that amazing? Is it kind of meh? The honest answer is you have no idea. It's impossible to tell. And that's the whole point, right? A raw number like $1 million in profit is just a fact. It tells you what happened, but it tells you absolutely nothing about the why or the how. You've got information, sure, but you don't have any real insight. And that is where this model comes into play. It's a really straightforward two-part framework that's designed to solve exactly this problem. It uses key ratios and, crucially, comparisons to your peers to turn that raw, confusing data into something you can actually use, real strategic insight. So let's break that down. First up, let's talk about the first part of the model, the ratios themselves. This is how we start to get a clearer picture. So what do ratios even do? Well, they take a couple of numbers from, a company's financial reports, and they put them into a relationship with each other. And by doing that, they create these standard measurements for things like profitability or how efficient a company is. Okay, look at this. This makes it super clear. On the left, you've got the raw data, 100 grand in profit on 2 million in revenue. Okay, fine. But look to the right. We turn that into a ratio and boom, a 5% profit margin. Now that means something. It tells you that for every single dollar that comes in, the company gets to keep 5 cents. See how much clearer that is? It's a much sharper way to look at it. I love this analogy. Ratios are basically like a health checkup for a business. They're measuring the vital signs, But, and this is a big but, even knowing your blood pressure doesn't tell you the whole story. And that leads us right into the second piece of the puzzle, which honestly might be the most important part of all: context. Because even a vital sign needs a baseline, right? You need to know what's normal. All right, so let's go back to our 5% profit margin. It's definitely better than just saying $100,000 profit, for sure. But we're still left scratching our heads a bit. Yeah, exactly. So, is 5% good? Is it bad? Is it just average? Without something to compare it to, we're kind of back at square one, just with a percentage instead of a dollar amount. And this is the yardstick we need. This changes everything. When we put our company's 5% margin right next to the average of its peers, which in this case is 12%, the story just jumps right off the screen. That gap, that tells you everything you need to know. All of a sudden, 5% doesn't look so hot, does it? We are way behind the competition. So that term peer group is super important. It's really just a fancy way of saying a bunch of similar companies or projects that you can use for a fair comparison. I mean, it's pointless to compare a fancy software company to a discount grocery store, right? But comparing it to other software companies, now that's where you find the real story. Okay, so now let's put the two pieces, the ratio and the comparison, together and see how powerful this really is. It honestly breaks down into these two simple steps. Step 1, you measure performance using those key ratios. Step 2, you compare that performance against a relevant peer group. It's like a 1-2 punch that just creates instant clarity. And when you do that, when you combine those two things, you're not just looking at lonely numbers anymore. You're doing a real comparative performance analysis. You've gone from a simple data point to a genuine strategic insight. All right, so why does any of this matter to you? How can you actually put this to work? Well, whether you're looking to invest, or you're a manager, or heck, even an employee who just wants to understand their company better, this is your toolkit. It helps you make way smarter decisions, figure out what your competitors are up to, and just get a real sense of your own company's health. It helps you make calls based on actual evidence, not just a gut feeling. At the end of the day, that's what this is all about. It's not about being a math whiz. It's about learning how to look at a page full of numbers and actually see the story hidden inside. The story of what's working, what's not, where the opportunities are. So remember, every set of numbers has a story to tell. Whether it's your personal budget, your company's financials, or an investment you're thinking about, you just need the right tools to be able to hear it. So let me ask you, what story are your numbers waiting to tell?